So,
Yeah. I will say Paris, holy shit, dude. I hated every bit of that.
so I was told that I would hate Paris as well. I was told that it's dirty, it smells bad. There's no like greenery, like it's all plant, like all
Yeah.
concrete and buildings and
Yeah.
brick. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it though?
I've not been there. I've been
Oh,
my
okay.
my my now wife is she's been there and she was like she went there like last year and she's like yeah I'm glad that you didn't come with me because you would have hated it like every
Yeah.
second of it. So
I feel like I got there on a bad day because I had a layover there. That's the only reason I stayed there for as long as I did. But the thing was, is like Charles de Gaulle, the airport is 2 hours. Well, not it's probably not 2 hours, but it took me 2 hours to get from the airport to my hotel in the third district just by Uber because it was Monday morning and everyone was going to work, and so that was a shit start. It was also overnight flight, get straight into an Uber for 2 hours, and I'm just like, all right, this is hell. And so I get there. I can't check into my hotel yet because that's at 3. It's like 11. So I drop off my bag. I go dick around in Paris for 3 hours or something. I get food. And I mean, like the thing was, is at this point I'm craving social interaction, dude. Like all I
yep
want to do is talk to people, and no one would have a conversation with me because they're all like,
yep.
like they keep to themselves and like,
Haha, we
just,
yeah yeah.
yeah, like grow up. And
What is up, guys? It's your boy Smalls on another episode of The Vault, the weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best merch jerseys in sports. With me, as always, my boy, Mr. Benny Buckets. How's it going, sir?
It's going well, man. I got a little rant out to you earlier.
Yes.
So now all the negative stuff's out and all the positive stuff has arrived. And I am ready to kick ass today on the show with you, my close personal friend, and someone who everybody is going to be familiar with as our guest today.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to go, man. How about you?
Dude, I'm pumped, especially with who we have on. It's still a little bittersweet because we are winding down on the show. But knowing that we only had a few episodes left, we wanted to bring on the prodigal son of fitness, friend of the show, Mr. Will Marshall. How's it going, dude?
gentlemen, how we doing?
We're doing good, dude. Doing good.
We're doing.
Hanging
Man,
in, dude. Gotta have you back on for the countdown.
well, yeah, of course. I was gonna ask. I didn't know if it had been announced yet that you
Yes.
guys are,
Mhm.
or it has been for sure.
Yeah.
That's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's what this is the third season, right?
Yeah. Third
Man,
season.
yeah, we go back to. It's so funny now because I've moved every single year that I've since being out of college, and like the first season was from my apartment or the first episode I was on was from my apartment in Mount Washington, and then
Yep.
last year we did one from your place,
Yeah.
and then also my apartment in Southside. Now I'm in a new apartment in Southside, but right now I'm at home. So, but it's a long time, man. It's crazy. Dude. I mean, did you ever count how many jerseys you guys have talked about over the years?
Oh, that's
Oh,
good. That's a lot of homework. Because if
Yeah.
you're even talking like honorable mentions
Yeah,
and
that's the
things that
thing.
have just gotten randomly brought up,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to beat couple thou, I think, at that point in 3 seasons. I mean, or at least around 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to be 4 digits, though. Easy.
Yeah, and I would think though, I don't know. So let's just conservatively say about 75 episodes times 3 times 2. We're at 450, probably plus another 50 at least.
Okay, so maybe I overshot, but
I think you
still.
overshot a little bit. It's probably around 500 jerseys though, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah. So I mean,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Now, did you guys ever feel like there was a time where you were just like, I feel like I'm running out of stuff to like. I mean, there's so much, but I feel like that's a really creative aspect of it is to figure out like
Mhm.
because sure, you could even look at like you have jerseys, but then it's like all right, what about like the worst like freaking NASCAR wraps? Like that would
Yep.
technically be like a jersey for NASCAR.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so we've done that, and so we've done mascots, we've done
Hats. We
Yeah.
did hats, we did sneakers, we've done tattoos, we've done like a bunch of different avenues of stuff, and it's like there are times though where like I mean we always end up figuring something out,
Yeah.
but there are times where like we're in between for a week and we're like, hey dude, I'm kind of running out. We got to do some like homework, do some deep brainstorming, and I mean we always end up figuring out a different avenue, and we bounce those ideas off each other all the time. So I mean we've always made it work, but definitely I think if we're talking like just topics, I don't know if this is a show that could go for 7 seasons. You know what I mean? Like just without doubling down. And there's some shows that we want to do like a part 2 of just because there's either so much to explore in one topic or we just had that much fun doing something, like we've done a couple like minor league baseball because there is so much and that's some of the most fun we have is like talking about that stuff. But it's tough to like continuously think of stuff or like genuinely like keep track of what we've already done. Like because there's stuff that we try and not step on each other's toes that like we did 2 years ago in season 1 that we're like oh shit, we did already. In fact, that happened just a couple weeks ago. I think I sent you something and you were like, hey dude, we already did that.
Yeah.
And so it's tough to remember everything sometimes, but I think we're doing it at enough time where we've had enough topics to where we made 3 quality seasons with a variety of topics and things for the show. So, bittersweet. But in terms of coming up with the topics, it gets hard at times, but we always end up figuring it out. So
yeah. I mean, I thought about that back at the very beginning. I was like, man. Like, I mean, I just thought about. I mean, obviously, like there's like the softballs, like because you take every major league and then you even go into and stuff like that. And but even like. Yeah, I mean, I think like even like you said, tattoos, like not a uniform, but you could absolutely like it's a very easy spin-off, that relates. And
right.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. We gotta I don't know how it's gonna work, but at some point just gotta figure out the logistics. Just get you guys both onto my podcast now.
Listen,
for an episode.
I'm always down. I'm always down to we don't even have to talk fitness. We can just talk we can talk bullshit. We can talk soccer, we can talk whatever we want to. Europe, we can talk French people. Yeah, we can talk about whatever we want to. So
burning bags of trash, which is essentially how I would describe myself in a fitness sense. So, whatever you want to do, man, we'll do it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
No, it's gotten to be such an ordeal because like now, we've never done a Zoom thing before.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've always done it in person, and so it's me and Mark is the other guy, and he actually runs my YouTube channel now, and he's always done it. He kind of like created, I guess, half of it, or you could say, or we run it together. And we did the first podcast in the East Allegheny Fieldhouse locker room, and the sound was tragic. And then we did like 2 more in there. And then now, because I live where I live in my apartment in the Southside Works, like I have a conference room that I can reserve, and so now we use that one, and the sound is also trash. But I don't know if you guys know Kyle Jennings. He North United.
Yep.
So he has like a digital marketing agency, and he's like a video audio guy, and he basically produced our most recent episode. But like that's the thing though, is like now, so it was like 2 people to coordinate, now it's 3 people to coordinate.
Yep.
And then we got in guests, and that's like potentially 4 or 5. And so it definitely is something that like we have to get back into the routine of. But I mean, I have a whiteboard that has all my ideas. Like when I create like my Instagram reels and shit, like it all stems from this whiteboard, and I've got you guys on it. So we'll make that happen at some point for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
well, I guess maybe not anytime, but we will make the time because soccer season's coming into full swing here, and
that's true.
Now that it's July, it's grind time for all 3 of us here at this point. So.
Yeah. Wait. So,
but yeah, man, we'll make it
that's
work.
another question though. Is like where? Wait. So, because obviously, you both left Ambridge.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
And now are you both at Kiski or no? So what happened there? Who's it? Where are you guys at?
So I'm at Kiski, and I took the Kiski head coaching job.
Yes.
And a very complicated situation that I'm not going to display on camera right now
Sure.
happened that led to him not following me.
Yep.
And then now, Smalls, you can take over what happened
Oh
with
yeah.
you.
So I'm
But-
a head coach at GCC.
DC,
Yep.
right?
GCC boys. Yeah. So, which is much different than Kiski, much different than Ambridge, but
For sure.
But like, I mean, I already kind of had a connection to the school, like
Yeah.
kind of a weak connection, but like I kind of had a connection there. So, I mean, yeah, we both kind of went our separate ways, but believe it or not, we're playing against each other this year. Which
Really?
Yep. I don't know how that
on
happened.
my birthday.
Yep.
Oh, how? Like, I mean, that seems insane for
It was
that matchup.
Well, so before it's just obviously like non-conference, non-section game, but it was already on the schedule before like either of us took those jobs. So that's just how fate pans out, man. And not him, but Kiski, we also play at Ambridge this year, so it's going to be a weird connection year for both of us. But yeah, dude, that's our last regular season game of the year, and it's on my birthday, and this is before either of us even had an interview at either of these places, and now that's just how fate pans out, man.
Dude, GCC used to absolutely shit on us in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, EA would schedule the GCC game on our senior night, and they would show up and beat us 10-0. I was like, what are you doing this? Like, give us Yock or like anybody else, like.
Right.
Win on senior night.
Shout out Yock.
Yeah, that's fucking suck.
Really, it's Yuff or Yog. You're just trying to be fancier, okay?
Pinky out.
Yeah. Yuck. Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. I mean, so and now you're going into the season with Pitt, right?
No. I was only at Pitt until I went to Portugal, so I'm not on the staff anymore.
Okay.
But I would have loved to stay on. That's another interesting situation because their goalkeeper coach, the guy that I had, ended up moving out to Oregon because his wife got hired as the head coach of volleyball at Oregon State. So at the time, like they're without a keeper coach going into the spring, and so it's the same staff that I played for. I was actually at a Pitt soccer wedding this past days ago in Nashville, and our head coach was there.
Nice.
He called me and he was just like, hey, I know you're not with the Hounds anymore and I know you're going to Europe, but, would you come help us out, in the springtime? And I was like, yeah. So I'd go down there, go to training, work with the keepers, and I'd go lift. And it was awesome. I was chilling. And then, I kind of got offered a permanent position, I guess you could say. But then it was just I was like, I got this trip booked. I spent thousands of dollars on this trip. I have to go do it. I can't really postpone it. And so then I left, and I thought maybe when I returned, maybe we could open up the conversation. But then as within maybe 3 weeks of me being back, they announced the new hires, and I was like, well, that happened before I even was here. So
yeah,
I'm still involved. I'm not there, but I'm pretty connected to what's going on there. So who knows? Honestly, I think if I would have taken it on, it probably would have been a lot for me to do, just with Marshall Fitness and everything else that I have going on. So would I have loved to do it? Yes, but I also think it probably works out for me just for my own sanity that I don't have that many things happening at the same time. But it's weird, man, not being fully involved in coaching. I work for AFFC now again. I do a session for them, their goalkeepers, every Tuesday in Monroeville. And then now I just do my own private sessions because now I can market those for the first time ever just freely. I used to never be able to
right.
do because I was Riverhounds. But I do miss Saturday night game, stadium's full, you're just out there with the team warming up, and then that's the shit. And we talked about this before, I think on the last podcast. It's that's the stuff that really pulls you back. And it's so funny, man. I thought when I went to Portugal that I would that was it for me soccer wise. I thought I would kind of that'd be the break, and I'd be okay, I'm good without it. And then all I wanted to do while I was there was go fucking kick balls. And now I'm back, and I do it, and it still does frustrate me. There's certain things about goalkeeping that I'm this is so dumb, but I don't know if it's just never gonna actually leave me. I don't think, and that's just something that I have to figure out how to just deal with, I guess.
Yeah, man. That's the tricky thing about coaching is I feel you find all these reasons to hate it, but you can't stop. You can't. You don't want to fully separate from the game because it's just like even if those lows outweigh the highs are still just so sweet. Is
Yeah.
to like what reels you back in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like an identity thing too, and some people are just better at like letting it go than others. I mean,
Yep.
I think about when I was like, 10, 12 years old and the people that I played with and the kids that were like the really good kids. And you think like those are the kids that are going to have like the longevity in it. They're always going to be involved in it. And then those are the kids that like maybe play in college and then they're just done and like
Yep.
don't even bother with soccer anymore. And that's crazy to me because I didn't necessarily like I wasn't necessarily viewed as like the best player on my team when I was like in high school or junior high or even my club team or whatever. There was always somebody else that's like that kid's the athlete. That's that kid's gonna go play somewhere. That kid's gonna play pro, whatever. And then you end up like now I'm 27 and I've been in like the coaching like the like Division I professional coaching game for 5 years or whatever. And like it's just never something I saw coming. And it just kind of it's not something I had to think about either. It's not like I ever said there was never a time where I was just like, hey, I want to go do this.
Yep.
It just kind of happened. And I was just and there's no resistance to it. That's the thing. It's like when you're doing it, it's just happening and you're just there. And it's like, oh yeah, this makes sense to me. Like,
Yep.
I don't feel like I have to make myself do it. It's just like, this is just what I do. And I'm just going to go and do it. And then that's just how it is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree. Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely I had it let go for a little while, and then and then Ben started having his success at Ambridge, and I was like, well, I guess I know how I'm getting back into it a little bit now. Yeah, now I'm 100% back in, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
Oh, now you're doomed, buddy.
I know,
You're
dude.
you're really in the deep end now.
I
So
know, dude. I know.
Yeah.
You go drive out to GCC every day then?
Yeah.
It's a big hike.
It's a hike. It's a hike.
Yeah.
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 But like,
it's a hike, but so is Ambridge.
yeah, it's
And
true.
if you love it, you'll do it.
Yep.
And
That's true.
that's the thing. So
Yeah.
and even if you don't, you'll still do it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
But all right, I got one more question for you, Will. So you always mark it trying to get back into your peak athletic condition. Now that I've been a client, would you say that I am back into peak Division I athlete, so-called Division I athlete peak physical condition?
Well, you're not at 20.
No. All right.
Smalls, he's too nice, man.
Hang on.
You
listen.
can't set him up like that.
Here's the thing with this is that peak fitness challenge term is a bit of a misnomer because the thing is like you'll never be at the peak of what you were when you were an athlete because it looks completely different, and like I'm even the same way because when you're playing soccer and that's your main mode of fitness, like you're sprinting, you're jumping, I mean, I'm diving around, hitting the ground, all that shit. I am not goalkeeper fit right now. But am I on the same level of fitness in a different way? Yes, probably. But it's a completely different thing, and so that's what I try to tell. Like, I mean, yeah, everyone I think ideally thinks about, they probably at the beginning think, oh yeah, I'm going to feel how I felt whenever I was playing whatever sport. But then in reality, it's like, well, you're not playing that sport anymore. So you really can't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like meant to be, I know that there's an analogy that's half formulated in my head, but it's like, it's that same level. It's just not in the same context.
Right.
So big polite way of saying no.
Would I expect you to go run 90 right now? Probably not, because I haven't had you running.
Yeah, that's true. And I haven't been running. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Because if you just want me to be completely honest here, what the hell are you running from? What are you preparing to run away from? And you're not like playing at an elite level anymore. You don't need to.
Yeah, I'm playing on Sundays now. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
See, I do though. That does concern me just a little bit. I mean, not Sunday league in general, and it's not because the issue is the volume, right? Like if you're only running on Sundays, it's not so much about the fitness, but it's about like your knees, because you have to still do stuff. Like, I mean, it's hard because out there on the field, you're always going to want to do the things that your mind's going to think you can do stuff that you really can't, still do. And that's how you see people that are like I know a guy that's like 40 and like he played in like high school and he went and played he was playing like, I don't know, like East Field, like grass. Like it was like, I mean, this is the lowest level possible recreational soccer, tears ACL. I'm like, was that worth it? Probably not. But the reason that happens is because your body just you don't cut anymore. Like you're lifting, you're walking, you're going in a straight line. You're not doing cutting is the thing that's dangerous, especially after you've been out of a sport for so long.
Yep.
And that makes me nervous. Even with me, I don't do a lot of cutting. I don't do a lot of sprinting, but I still go play. And it's always in the back of my head. Like it freaks me out.
Yeah, I hear you. But listen, it's fine. It's fine. I'm still going to play while I can. But that's still a long-winded answer of saying no. You're still way out of shape.
Hey, the goalposts are always moving. There's no finish line.
That is true.
Yourself. So
that
the
is
answer
true.
is always no.
Listen, you got me.
Hey, it's all right. You definitely A, look better than you did, and B, you don't look as bad as me because I've had several people tell me happy birthday, Grimace, in the last few weeks. So, I mean, you gotta weigh the wins with the losses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Oh man. Well, yeah, you did get me in shape for my wedding, so I gotta tip my cap to that because that was awesome.
Oh, dude,
so.
you're a real one now. You're in there.
Oh yeah.
You're no longer dipping your toe in the Marshall Fitness game.
Listen, I'm in full on client now, drinking the Kool-Aid. Speaking of Marshall Fitness, let's jump into it. Willie, since you're here, you want to just do the ad read this week?
Oh man, I always forget about this. This is always catching me by surprise. Yeah, we'll do the ad read. So let me think. So Marshall Fitness is an online personal training business that creates programs 100% custom to the individual. So that includes training program, nutrition, recipe books, grocery lists, video demos, and then constant support. There's an open line with my clients and me. And so, for example, I had someone the other day tell me hey, I'm doing kettlebell swings and they feel really weird. And then they sent me a video and I was like, well, you're not doing them right. And so I sent them another video of how they should do them. And then there you have an easy fix right there. And a lot of people I think favor in-person training, maybe not so much anymore after the pandemic, but the difference between an online trainer like myself and someone that's training in person is that in person, you are getting a trainer for 1 hour of the day and that's it. And some gyms now have hybrid programs where they do a little bit more, but generally paying for an in-person trainer's time is going to be more expensive than an online program, like when it really comes down to it. And so if you do, 4 sessions a month with an in-person trainer, you're probably looking at somewhere between 400, 500 plus, and you can work with an online trainer that has your entire month covered with nutrition, training program, accountability for significantly less than that. And so at the end of the day, my main market is former athletes, and my goal is to get them back into peak fitness in 12 weeks. And again, like we just talked about, that peak is always going to look different, and it's always going to keep increasing. And so, you can find Marshall Fitness at marshallfitnesstraining.com.
Nice. Thank you very much, Willie. All right, so this week's topic brought to you by Marshall Fitness. Like we said, we're going out with a bang. So, in the main vein of the show, we wanted to do just the worst jerseys ever. Period. Doesn't matter what sport. We're just doing terrible, awful, no good jerseys. So this is the worst of the worst. We have some stinkers in here. I'm very excited about this. And Benny, I think this is going to be an amazing way to kick us off.
I do too. This was just so hard.
Yes.
Because there are so many fat stinkers out there that it was really hard to boil it down to just 3 apiece. But, and even some of mine, I was like, did they even necessarily qualify? But I'm going to give reasonings as to why I think they should at least be in there.
Yeah. I'm stoked. Willie's picks, I don't think I shared your guys' back and forth.
I did not.
So
yeah, I did not see his.
It is funny. One of his picks we've talked about plenty of times on the show. So I'm interested to see what he has to say about it, and I want to turn it back around on him because
okay.
we have our own thoughts on these that he in one of the ones that he
I
picked, so.
I have a weird like That's So Raven thing going on in my head right now that I think I know exactly what is going on.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know. So
Okay. All right. Well, Benny, let's get kicked off here. What do you got for pick number 1?
All right, so real quick, are these Sacramento Kings alternate jerseys? You can see DeMarcus, aka Boogie Cousins, who I have to call Boogie because anytime I hear the name DeMarcus, I think of that. Go DeMarcus, go DeMarcus. So I see this jersey that is split in half between purple and black that are just two colors that have to be put in the right way for them to be cohesive. Like the Ravens have figured out a way to do it. And the Kings have in other jerseys, but not here. Not split down the middle like an emo girl's bangs with this weird checker mark stripes on the sides for absolutely no reason at all. And then the shorts that are like purple in the middle and black on the outside. And it's like, I don't understand. And the font of the Kings with the K and the S, it just looks sloppy and lazy to me. I don't like the font. I don't like the way that they split the colors. And this is one where, like, even, the Charlotte Bobcats back in the day, they've got the speedway down there because it's, big NASCAR country. California, you got no excuse, especially in Sacramento. And, like, at least to being that magnitude, because to me, like, at least Charlotte, down there, you can kind of argue that there's a pretty big hillbilly populace, but not so much in California, where you just have this weird checkerboard finish line bullshit in the middle of these just confusing, clashy uniforms.
Yeah.
yeah, the font is really bad. It looks like it says Rings. It's the Sacramento Rings.
Sacramento
yeah.
Rings.
I looked at that real quick. Yeah, and the I didn't really even notice the checker until you like really called that out. Like that is a really weird addition. Like I mean, we brought up NASCAR already, but like I think NASCAR. Like for what reason?
Yeah.
Is it white and purple?
Yeah.
Yeah, black, purple, and white. Yeah. And like, I'm fine with black and purple, but, like, the unevenness of it, where it's, like, not even down the middle. And even if
Like
it was,
I said,
it'd be weird. But, like...
Yeah, it's like that unnecessary measurement there. And like I said, because black and purple can look tough together, but you got to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And they did not do it the right way, at least in this rendition of their jerseys. And it's kind of funny because, you and I, we had a social media interaction over the Kings, quote-unquote, rebrand recently that they look almost exactly as they did before. But, yeah, the Kings just – they have – and historically on this show – not put out good products uniform wise. In fact, I think we have talked more shit on Kings jerseys than potentially any other NBA franchise's jerseys in the history of our show. So, there was the red and blue disasters and then their weird gold silky shit. Like we have dumped on more Kings jerseys and even the most recent rebrand than probably any other team in the NBA.
Yeah.
That just makes sense to me. I don't know why. I mean, like I just feel like and I'm not even a huge NBA fan, but it just like rings true in my mind that the Kings have shit jerseys.
Yeah.
Do
you
it's just something that you're like, you don't even go full into, but you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. They definitely have poopy jerseys all the time.
Maybe it's just because it's Sacramento. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sacramento.
Sacktown.
Yeah, ball Sacktown.
Do you think the checkerboard pattern is just because they're the Kings and it's like they're playing chess? Is that like that's the only?
If so, that's the worst stretch they could have possibly went for. Period.
That's wild if that's true.
I don't know what else it would be though. Like
a mistake.
Yikes! All right, Benny, that's a great way to start us off. Willie, what do you got?
There it is.
Are these the ones?
No, these are not. We talked about these.
But these are awful.
Yeah, no, these are. I mean, this is crazy. And here's the thing about so I was researching today, and you look at like these like other websites that have like worst jerseys ever, and I'm not gonna lie, about half of them I was like, those are kind of sick.
Yep.
And I feel like with these in particular, I mean, it's 1978 porno stash full effect.
Yep.
And this is the type of shit where like in the 70s they just threw shit out there and then just like just really doubled down on it, and like I think of we did this jersey too at one point. It was the guy, it was Jorge Campos, the goalkeeper. I think it was from the first goalkeeper kits, and it's like the pink one that has the V's and the green.
Yeah.
It's the same style, and I really think that had to be just all the rage in the late 70s. We're just like, we're just gonna put some triangles on some shit, and then we're just gonna make it look insane.
Yeah.
I mean, pair with the stash too. I mean, that's a fit right there, dude. I don't know. I mean, like, it's so bad, it's almost good.
And the colors, though, man, like, that's not even actually Canuck colors, which, first of all, I'll never forget when we looked up what the hell a Canuck is, and it's literally just a Canadian person. We were like, that is the dumbest shit in the world.
It's a nickname for a Canadian person. That's
I thought it was
like we should have, like, the Pittsburgh Americans and just, like, it's dumb. And they're such a silly country. We've already covered that before. And, I get, like, the V shapes to emphasize Vancouver, but technically there are two Vs there. One for Vancouver and one for vastly worse than any other jersey in the NHL. So, I mean, because it's like those colors are just gross.
Yeah.
All piled up together.
Like felt pieces that you just like lay on and glue, like hot glue,
Yeah, or like the shit that they put on you when you graduate, like an honor sash type deal.
Oh yeah,
like,
what's that called?
You know what I'm talking about? That's gonna kill me that I don't know what it's called.
What is it called? It's not called a cape. That's what I want to say, but that's not it.
The capping down? No, but it's something on the capping down. I know. I don't know.
Dude, this is gonna kill me.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I think they technically call it like a hood, but it doesn't go on your head. Like it's something like that. Yeah.
It's a hood.
So that's kind of what it looks like. But I mean, for what, graduating from Jackass school, like this is dumb. It's terrible. And I really don't have anything else for it. It just sucks. The Vancouver sucks. That's what this is. It's just top to bottom awful.
Silly country, dude. He looks like a medieval jester, this guy.
He does.
All right. Let's go to my first pick. 2008.
Excellent choice.
Thrashers. Yep. So I'd throw this one on here. I think this has definitely come up on the show before. So this is known as just the worst in NHL history, and there are a few reasons why. First of all, they don't look like hockey jerseys. They look like professional paintball jerseys. It's something that you would watch at 1 p.m. on a weekday on ESPN2. That's what this guy is wearing right now. Second of all, the numbers plus the Thrashers logo doesn't belong on a hockey jersey. You don't put numbers on the front. That's asinine. That's like...
It's NBA behavior.
Yeah, it's NBA behavior. That's right. Third of all, it has no tie whatsoever to the name Thrashers. It doesn't make any sense. There's no identity to this whatsoever. It's just too busy. It's just unnatural. Everything about this is unnatural, and it's so fitting that a trash franchise like the Thrashers pulled these out. These might not even be considered their worst. I just had to bring it up because they look like BMX jerseys. That's what these make me think of.
Yeah, dude. These are definitely like, Pride of Belle Vernon, PA.
Yep.
Bike racer jerseys where like they're posting like, born in the mud type, like Instagram captions and shit. These are just bad. And what Atlanta, first of all, I do often forget that Atlanta had a hockey team because they are a city that does not seem like they should have one. And like even just their logo with like they're the Thrashers, but then it's like a bird inside of a cyclone. It makes no sense. And then they became
the Jets.
They got rid of them, and then they brought the Winnipeg Jets back, who originally were extinct, and then brought back because they were like, you know what, we'll bring back another sorry franchise because at least it's one people are comfortable with. This weird cyclone bird in Atlanta is making no fucking sense to anybody.
Yeah.
And then with these BMX jerseys, I mean, this, to me, actually great representation of the whole franchise, like from start to finish. Outside of Ilya Kovalchuk, name me one successful player who was there. Name me a time that they were even remotely relevant. I mean, they're just garbage.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I didn't know this team existed until right now. I would have never thought, even by looking at this picture, that was 2008. Like, I'm thinking 98. By just by looking at the picture.
Yeah.
And I was I think I was in first grade. I was a dirt bike rider for Halloween in my jersey.
Nice, dude.
Looked just like.
Nice.
Hell yeah! Was that like a thrift store pickup or?
Yeah, that was one. That was a legit Halloween costume, like in the package, everything together costume.
Was it a Fox Racing branded costume?
No, it was non-branded. It was generic.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's like
because he bought it as a total costume.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. No, yeah, that's it. Also, lacrosse kind of a look too. It kind of looks like a lax.
Thrashers as a lacrosse team makes perfect sense. Like
Yeah, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
sick
Yeah.
lacrosse name, dude. Well, so what's funny about the Thrashers is whatever arena they played in, which I think it was a different arena than the Hawks. It was known as having the most blind spots in an arena, like in the country, because every seat there was
people
just
are
like a
paying-
giant pole. Like,
People are paying $50 and not see the ice.
yeah,
Yeah, oh man.
yeah,
It's insane that exists because what is it? Dallas has one now, like behind the
Yeah.
foul pole, something like that. That's. How do you not think of that? And why would you even bother with it? Just take the seat out.
yeah.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Or-
stop selling those seats. Like, for the love of God, just
Very
stop
easy.
selling them.
Horrible PR.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or just put like a concession stand there, dude. Put
Yeah.
like a popcorn stand right there. You know.
Have the hot dog guy sit there.
Yeah, yeah. Get some glizzies on the no view seats. Anyway, Benny, what do you got for pick number 2?
All right, these have been brought up a lot, and never in a positive sense. Use your eyes for 3 seconds, and they'll tell you why. These are the most jackassery candy sugar daddy. The candy sugar daddy was spawned from these uniforms, I'm convinced. Okay, look that shit up and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And these weird, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like Twilight Zone Barbicide socks that they have going on. Like you walked into like a Bizarro World barbershop and they just were like, hey, we're going to make these into socks, throw them on, pull them up to your kneecaps. We're going to give you poop brown pants so that when you do shit yourselves from how awful you look in the mirror, nobody will know. And matching with the helmets with the white numbers on there, and white isn't incorporated in the rest of the uniform except for the numbers on the helmet. Why they wouldn't even just go with like yellow numbers then and do a little opposites thing there, I don't understand. But regardless, these weird JV football from a movie uniforms need tossed out and burned to death. And honestly, with the person who designed them as well. I don't care if they are already deceased. Dig them back up, kill them again. These are the worst. I don't understand how these were allowed on an NFL football field. And even if they were from, 19 early on, whatever, don't bring them back. That's the wrong throwback uniform to bring back. Denver has some cool ones from like the 80s and 90s. Why you chose to bring these back, I have no idea. Just a complete and utter miss, and genuinely like what should be the biggest regret in Broncos history, and that is considering a lot if you really think about it. So I don't know, man. These are just the worst.
Something about those socks makes me really uncomfortable. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like I'm thinking of like Batman cartoon supervillain type outfit.
Yep.
I don't really know what.
Bible Man villain outfit in there.
There
That
it
is
is. I've been
Shadow
waiting
of
for that
Doubt
freaking
socks.
callback the entire time.
Those are Shadow of a Doubt socks. Brand it now. And first of all, obviously, like it'll probably be after the show's ended. But even if we want to put out a little piece of content, I think the three of us should get together, and I will figure out a way to get us to watch a Bible Man episode at some point. Like I just think you guys need to experience it. from top to bottom so that we can truly give thanks to one of our greatest content pieces in the history of the show.
Dude,
Absolutely.
I think we should just create like a skit that like the type that I do, and I think Benny, you should just play Bible Man.
Okay, and I will wear a youth medium shirt,
Yep.
and it'll be great. I used to, I had a Bible Man outfit when I was younger because my grandparents are pastors and obviously aren't super supportive of the whole Halloween idea. So if I was going to dress up as something, they figured here's a gift. And I'm sure there's a picture of me somewhere. It was a T-shirt it was like a tuxedo T-shirt, but just with Bible Man's armor on it, and then a mask and a cape. And I had this shit legit as a kid. So it's in the archives of my family somewhere. I gotta dig this up.
Listen,
Dude, so this is insane, but this is my third or fourth episode now, and I never looked up what Bible Man looks like. And I think every time we did record an episode, I always meant to do it, and then I would just forget.
Mhm.
And now I'm looking him up, and I can't believe that he looks like this.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And it says it's the TV series 1995 dash. It's still happening. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that it was on that long. That's like
He is the
That's
Steven
long.
Seagal of Christianity.
no. Did the same guy play Bible Man for those 15 straight years? That's the question.
He's that way.
I would assume so. That was clearly enough to sustain him as a career.
Yeah.
So
Willie Ames is his name.
Oh boy, has he done? Does he have any other work out there?
That's a great question. Oh man, so this is him right
why
here.
are you interested in
Well,
his
hey,
other
listen.
work?
in an academic sense, absolutely. Knowing what he did
What?
here,
Hang on, expand that. Your academic
you're
sense.
telling me that
to
you
why
want us
you're
to sit down
interested
and
in-
you want us to sit down and watch an episode of Bible Man, right? For
Correct.
why would we not do the same thing for the other things that this guy is in? I want to see what else this guy is
Okay,
in
wait,
for the
this
same
makes sense.
reasons we want to sit down and watch Bible
It
Man.
makes sense. He said it says he began acting as a child actor, and he was in a lot of stuff as a child, like Gunsmoke, Adam 12, and then I guess shit went downhill for him. Oh wait, no, he played Benjamin Franklin in a mini series called Benjamin Franklin.
Oh my God! All right,
It's good to have Bible Man back. That was
Yeah.
a good little.
Yeah, we had to do it.
I had to do it. I had to do it.
Okay, Willie, what's your second
What
pick,
is
my
that?
dude?
I don't even know. Oh, dude. Oh my
Oh,
god.
fuck you. Fuck you, Will. This is absurd and ridiculous. You just affected our whole friendship. Our
Let
whole
him talk.
friendship.
Let him talk. Let him
Take
talk.
it.
Hang on a second.
Let him
Hang on
talk.
a second.
Let
Hold
him
up.
talk.
So here's the thing: is on these lists, the worst jerseys. The Pirates are in like 4 out of 15, and I'd say I only agree with this one. But they even had the gold ones. They just brought back on the list of the list I looked at. It was like it was like 3rd out of 15 as the worst jersey ever, and I think that's insane. Now, these ones, I don't like. Listen, I can understand Pittsburgh bias because I'm I black and gold blood. I literally saw it today in a bag. This shit is crazy. I mean,
Did you buy it? Did you buy that black and gold blood?
No, it came out of my arm when I donated it today.
I thought you meant this was like one of those things down in the strip district that they're like selling out of the Asian-owned shops, and you were like, "Yeah, you bought that shit," and you were like,
"Oh,
"No,
It's
I
just like
gave it."
just
Yeah.
like an IV bag. Oh,
yep, it's just gold and black mixture. It's disgusting."
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry. Go
No.
on.
I love the Pirates red and yellow and black colors because I have one of those. I have I think it's a Willie Stargell jersey with those colors, but they just slapped on the worst Pirate logo that we have on the front of this jersey.
Don't you dare!
That's not a good Pirate.
Don't you
Okay.
dare!
All right.
That's definitely not a good Pirate.
All right. So let me step in here. There are no wrong opinions on this show. There has to
Yes,
be.
there are. One was just told.
Okay. All right. Will, a little bit of background here. So this is from the 1999 Turn Ahead the Clock series that Major League Baseball did, right? Where they were trying to come up with futuristic looking jerseys. Which
That
is,
is-
Tell them why. Tell them why.
the concept was sponsored by Century 21 Real Estate.
What the f-
Because we were about to hit the 21st century.
Oh.
That's the connection. That's it. There's not much else.
Now it sounds more insane than it did before. Like,
We have talked about these about 5 times on this show.
yeah,
And here's why. They are so outrageous and so ridiculous that we love everything about them. We talked about them last week because we did jerseys so bad that they're actually good.
yeah.
And these are so ridiculous that I would wear this in a heartbeat because it's that ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. I mean, like, to my point in the very beginning, it's like there's some that are so bad that they're good. Now these are just really fucking bad, you know. And I stand by the pirate thing, though. I got to be honest with you, because my favorite pirate logo is the one with the is it from the 70s, where it's definitely before this one. I think it
I
was
know which one you're talking about.
No, it's like the guy with like the mustache and he's got like the triangle pirate hat on. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
This one,
That's a good logo.
Yeah, this one kind of reminds, like, I mean, obviously, like, I was alive going to pirate games when this happened, and so this does remind me of being like a little kid with that logo. But I mean, the triple sleeve and stuff.
Listen,
The fact that that's futuristic is wild.
Yes, you didn't even pick the picture of the back of the jerseys with the numbers, where they had the numbers going, I think, horizontally, but then the name going vertically sideways in an attempt to look futuristic. Give that a Google too. There's a lot about this that is wild. The space pirate look is hilarious. I don't mind the pirate as much. It's just the fact that they put the yellow bandana on it that is hilarious.
That pirate is probably the closest to what a real pirate looks like.
That's true.
Okay,
scallywag,
so
a real scallywag,
a real
Bruce
scallywag,
Seawolf.
a real swashbuckler. Okay, a real poop deck swabber. All right, that guy definitely pillaged somewhere. Okay, so no, these are to me lovably awful. Like, I 100% understand that these are not a great jersey, but they just hold a sweet spot for us.
Yeah, pinstripe pants, those are tight.
Yeah, we also looked it up. You can't find these because they only wore them once. You have to spend minimum $500 for one of these.
Yeah, dude, they are choice, big pricey, and unfortunately, that's something that, like, you can't even get like replicated. Like you have to get like
you have to get the
the
original
real thing. Yeah, like DHgate ain't pawning these out, man.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get the real thing, and the real thing is gonna cost you $5,000.
Yeah, and I've looked into getting it because I've wanted one of these, and it's so
I
expensive.
want to get like personalized ones.
Yeah.
It's got to go.
Like,
Can't even wear it.
oof. Yeah, like I want to get the number 21 and then Century on the
21st century
side.
real
Yeah.
estate. Oh
Century,
my god.
Century and then 3 for Century 3 Mall.
Wow.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Which
RIP.
has been a ghost mall already for like 15 years now.
And now it's actually inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. R.I.P. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I had a feeling that there was going to be a little backlash on this one, but we came around. You had to get a little background on these because these are.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a staple. It's a staple on this show for sure. Yeah. All right. Let's go to my third pick.
Ooh.
Second pick.
Sorry, second pick. 1999 BYU Cougars, a.k.a. the Bibs. So these were worn for one game in 1999. It was when BYU rebranded to become this navy blue and tan looking colors. They brought these out in an attempt as just a rebrand to look modern and futuristic, and instead it just looks like a bib. That's all it is. to the point where the NCAA actually had to come in the next game and tell them that they couldn't wear this because the other teams were getting confused. Because it looks just like a white jersey on the front and then a blue jersey on the back. So they literally were only allowed to wear this because of the NCAA ruling for one game, and it just looks like Jameis Winston is out there eating L's.
Oh,
Yeah. Like these are hilariously bad, and it's just so funny that they made it look like. I don't think there are Joe's Crab Shacks out in Utah, but like this makes me think that they went to Joe's Crab Shack.
or they're a bunch of babies suckling from the teat of loss. These are just, I mean, I'm not even going to dive super into this one. These are just like funny to me, if anything. Like, I can't even necessarily say they're that bad. They just crack me up because I don't understand the cutoff underneath of the white, and then you don't see it anywhere else. Crazy.
Yeah, I always think to myself, like, especially like on here, is like, what was the thought process? Because every shit idea, at least one person thought it was an awesome idea.
Yeah.
How funny would it be just to be like, to go back in time of like, one of the most shit ideas of all time and just see some dude getting super excited about it. And then you find out 10 years later, be like, yeah, we're going to trash talk your shit on the podcast.
Yeah, right.
And this in particular, like very clearly the NCAA was like, yep, that's a shit idea immediately. And then done.
I mean, yeah, the other teams couldn't tell which team these guys were playing on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like wearing
it's a white jersey.
Jerseys, pretty much.
Yeah.
Especially with the different colored numbers too. That is what does it for you.
Yeah.
They're blue on the front, white or silver or whatever on the back, like just dysfunctional.
Yeah. That'd chaos.
It looks like a 2005 Arena League jersey too, in all the wrong ways.
I can't even see their. Do they have does it say BYU next on the opposite of the Nike sign there?
No, I think it's just a patch. I think the only BYU is the Y up on the top. So I don't know what these the Mormons were thinking. Silly Mormons.
Dude.
All right, Benny, what do you got for pick number 3?
All right. Would this have been a hate episode or a trash episode if there wasn't something from Philadelphia in there? Absolutely not. Here's my new addition, because I didn't want to go back to Old Faithfuls that I've already pooped on and hammered home. Wanted to come up with something new. Now, you look at this jersey from 1983 and you think the Flyers haven't really strayed too much from being the trash-ass franchise that they are, with their weird P with feathers and a flyer that nobody knows what the fuck that is. But then they decided to put on just full black jeans, I guess, as an addition to their already trash-ass jerseys. Then at the bottom of their sweatpants that they incorporated into this also have their stupid logo that match all the way up to their waistline, that literally make them look like, I don't know, slacks maybe or whatever, with their orange-chested jersey with the black like neck logo slot, with then white sleeves that stop to then become black sleeves with orange numbers, with then the white numbers on the back, and then the solid black helmets. Like, this is all just like, hey, we want these 3 colors, and they just threw them on there Jackson Pollock style and looked for what stuck. And then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, let's not give them even like socks that kind of match with breezers and or with their shorts. Like, we're just gonna throw black like tracksuit pants onto this already trash dysfunctional jersey that is being worn by the abomination of sports. So makes sense.
Yeah. Go ahead, Will.
No, I don't know what more you can say about that. Because I mean, it's if there's one Philly team that I hate, it's the Flyers. I mean, I've said this before, but I like Philadelphia as a city. I have I have so much fun every time I go there. But people will tell me, like someone I know that's never even been in Philly said to me the other day, he was like, do you there's a guy I would never go to Philly because I'm a Pittsburgh fan. I was like, they don't give a shit about us in the sense of football or baseball. Like, it's all about Penguins, Flyers. And so, I mean, the other two, like I said, I don't really care, but fuck the Flyers. Easily.
Yeah. These I don't know why the black pants just they look like leather pants almost. I don't know if I'm watching Roadhouse or an NHL hockey game here.
I bet you
but-
could unbutton those all the way
Don't
up. To
don't do Patrick Swayze like that. He should have no connection to these fucks. Okay, that man, Bible Man took him home. Okay, do not disrespect him or take Patrick Swayze's name in vain, putting
all
him
right.
in association
Yo.
with arguably the worst group of people ever. And don't forget that World War II happened. Okay, so. Like the Flyers are in that conversation, all right, and this is a perfect representation of how awful they are altogether.
Do you think that there's buttons all the way up the side of those pant legs?
So you rip it off?
Yank them off.
No, I was gonna say that's the easy way out for them, so I hope not.
Yeah.
Dude, that's rough.
Timeline does check out though.
As far as what?
Like
Patrick
those
Swayze?
pants being- no, those rip off button pants being popular.
Oh
and-
yeah.
True.
I thought you were talking Patrick Swayze still, the Swayze man.
That also might check out, doesn't it? When did he died in the 90s, I think.
No, he only died like 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
But the movie was made in like
The 80s, yeah.
yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Dirty Dancing was the 80s. Yeah, that's totally true.
Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, in
Jennifer Grey, goddamn.
Point Break was in the 90s, which is
Oh.
awesome.
Point Break is a sick movie. Yeah.
I have not seen Point Break. I've always been told I need to though.
Swayze's
You
a-
have to for Gary Busey alone or
Yes.
Keanu Reeves. It's like one of the. It's like a Hallmark movie for dudes. It's awesome. It is. That's the best way I can describe it, and you got to
Yeah.
check it out sometime.
Gary Busey, what the fuck? But like, I mean, it's just like the three of them. It's like a '90s fever dream almost, just about surfing and stuff. It's
That's not.
wild
I'm in.
movie.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
sick. It was on Netflix for a stretch. I don't think it is anymore.
It's on something. I saw it on something recently.
Yeah.
But all right, Willie, what do you got to round us out?
Ah. So, I thought these were so funny because there's nothing to them. You know, like you've got some stripes, but then it's like they all look like jack-o'-lanterns. You know, from what was it, Charlie Brown Halloween? And I was also laughing at the fact that the middle dude there, his like calves are the same size all the way down to the ankle and up to the knee.
Ankle.
If you I think if you look up the definition of cankles in the dictionary, there's a picture of that guy right there. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you think, and so more to this, but Syracuse is kind of a Pitt soccer rival because they smoked us a couple
Sure.
times, and whenever we were playing there, I think it was my junior year. I mean, they were pretty good then. Like I was like 2013, and one of we were losing like 5-0. And one of our guys was like chirping somebody else, and the other guy was like, "Shut the fuck up, you go to Pitt." And like, at the time, it was like, maybe that's a little justified to say, but then now, like Pitt is what they are, and so it's fuck Syracuse all the time. But I want to ask you guys: do you think that Syracuse modeled their mascot after these jerseys, or they modeled the jerseys after the mascot? Because I feel like it could go either way. It's just a basketball orange.
Well, historically, technically, the big round orange came first.
Okay.
So
Fair
I
enough.
guess technically, if you're thinking about it that way, but I thought that he was right there. I just thought that you were bringing him up because he's pictured there, and then I realized, oh no, they're just wearing a uniform that is essentially their mascot. And by the way, the Syracuse orange and then an orange being your mascot, what a puss ass way to represent yourself. I mean, and these dudes obviously still need to be freshly squeezed that are in the picture. So, but these are definitely not fresh. These are just a big orange blob of shit, and definitely deserve to be on the list.
My man on the left over there is standing pretty zesty too, huh?
Dude, I was thinking the same thing, dude.
Zesty.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the mascot at Syracuse always just made me think of like Orange Julius.
Yeah.
Like at the mall where you go get your Dairy Queen and Orange Julius.
And nobody actually liked Orange Julius. You just got that shit to look cool.
Yeah.
No, like, in that you were being healthier. Everybody hates Orange Julius. I'm telling you that right now.
I've never had one in my life, actually.
Neither have I.
Overrated smoothie, man. That's all you're looking for.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Take your word for it.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
Oh,
These, I think, might be the worst things I've ever seen, and I couldn't think of a better way to wrap it up this week. The 1996 St. Louis Blues prototype. So there is a little bit of a caveat here. These were never actually worn, but they almost were. The only reason they didn't was whatever coach was in charge of the Blues back then allegedly 100% vetoed these. I look at these, and there's a lot going on. Sure, you could say that the St. Louis Blues, blues music, jazz music, that's one way to look at it, sure. However, I look at these, and I just think if a Hardee's kids meal was personified in a piece of clothing, that's what this makes me think of. Either that, or it gives me big, and I hope you guys know the reference. I know, Ben, you will. This makes me think of an Insane Clown Posse hockey jersey.
Oh,
Here come the Juggalos, boys.
why'd you say, Ben? You'll know what I'm talking about. Like I'm a juggalo.
Mostly because I know we went to the same high school, so we knew the same people.
Yeah,
wore
we
these.
saw it. Yeah, with the bumper sticker. Yeah, dude. On like their like '93 Dodge Neon. Yeah, dude, I've seen it. So, and these like just with like the clip art, music notes, and the trumpets rising from your loins, with like the awkward stripes, and then the yellow backwards L for no reason that comes, like none of these colors correlate at all or make any sense. Thank God somebody listened to somebody else and did not put these out there, because 100% the Blues would have been done as a franchise if they were going out in these.
yeah. These are like if they ever made like a jazz hero, like Guitar Hero, this would be the first shirt that your character wears. Like it's like you're the starter,
Yes.
like brand beginner, and you have to wear this shirt while you're playing the
Yeah,
trumpet.
your first show, and you have to play a trumpet correctly. Oh man, I'm sure there's some like rival of Nintendo that like tried to make that or some shit, and they own these. They bought all of these because
they
the
bought them.
Blues didn't use them. So yeah,
Do you think that every player that they would have given these, they would have also had to give out like the propeller hats to go along with it?
they would have also had to given out suicide prevention cards. I think also because I would be rethinking my life of like, oh yeah, I made it to the league, but look at this shit.
Dude, it's a bowling shirt, really. Like, I mean, especially the way that it like fits, and like those sleeves are so long.
It's a bowling graphic. At the alley,
Yeah.
like when you get a spare,
This is
they're
what
like,
comes up.
mark the frame. Like this is just, that's like bowling lane animation shit.
100%. Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah. One of the worst things I've ever seen. Thank God that they
So
didn't
bad.
actually see the light of day. Jesus. All right. Benny, we got Boogie, our main man Boogie here. Sugar Daddies.
So
over in-
DeMarcus. Yeah, with sugar daddies.
And then the ghost of Patrick Swayze over in Philly. And then we got Willie's picks here. We got the Canucks up in Canada. The
Just absurd.
yeah, just silly country. And we got the greatest jerseys ever created coming out of the 412.
Word.
And Orange Julius over here with Zesty 73.
Looking back at it.
And then we got the Lax jerseys down in Atlanta. Joe's Crap Shack bibs up in Utah. And like I said, just a Hardee's Happy Meal personified in a jersey. There were a lot outside of the Pirates one. I think there were a lot of bad. There was a lot of bad.
Yeah, we went 11 for 12 with bad jerseys. So
Yeah.
I think as a group, very good. And but you know what? Well, sad that at least as far as the vault, this is the last time, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's been a journey, but for real, on behalf of both of us, we want to thank you for being our show sponsor for 3 seasons, and that's a big deal, man. I don't think we would have been able to keep doing it. Is just a one-winged show, but being able to have you on, I think, has benefited us both and created good friendships here. So we appreciate you being on, man. And even though you did disrespect one of our most beloved jerseys, we've always been super happy to have you on, and look forward to seeing you in the future in whatever capacity that ends up being. So.
Yeah, man. No, of course. I mean, thank you guys for having me on. I mean, it's been fun. You know, I always knew every year I'd look forward to getting on an episode or 2 of the Vault. So, you know, and we have a good time. Even from the very first one, you know, like coming on, and it was like we were just firing right away. And so now, but it's like 4 or 5 episodes in now, and yeah, you know, it's always a good time. And of course, you know, you guys have you know, you got things to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're out of the game completely. And so, you know, just taking different path with it now. So
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you guys you're content creators at heart. That's what you've been doing. So there's you just got to find a new avenue, another avenue.
Yep. No, yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, just echoing kind of what Ben said. Thanks for being a good partner all these years. That was definitely meant the world to us. Couldn't have done it without you. Yeah, I don't know. It was awesome. Hopefully, we were as good of a partner to you as you were to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure we'll be in touch. This isn't, we'll be hitting each other up for a few things here and there. I'm sure we'll get together at some point. But before we go, let the people know where they can find you one more time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you find me on Instagram at willmarshall_1. My website is marshallfitnesstraining.com, and my YouTube, which is new channel. It's popping off, posts on there every single day. It's that's my goal right now is to grow that thing. Is at willmarshall1, and putting out meal prep videos. I got a bunch of shorts. I got post shorts every day at 7:00. Meal prep videos, workout videos. The podcast is on there as well. So lots and lots of content going on there.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on as always. Benny, anything else before we head out?
No, just we got to set up that Bible Man meetup at some point. So.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, got to get that on the books. All right, next week we're gonna try to be in person for the last ever episode of the Vault. So hopefully you guys tune in. Last week is it. So we're gonna go with a bang. Benny, Willie, appreciate you guys hopping on. It's been the Vault. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.